What up, my friends? Day 159. No excuses. 2024. I was thinking about all this, like the Trump trial, right? And the conviction. And that's all anybody's memeing about, right? Left, right, center, don't matter. That's what everybody's talking about. Oh, convicted felon, blah, 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 right? Meanwhile, Fauci has to testify in front of Congress, right? And you see how partisan it is, right? It's crazy that, like, I call it manufactured opposition, right? Because the people who are asking, like, real questions to him and you know, taking him to task are people like Marjorie Greene Taylor, right? And people feel a certain way about Marjorie Greene Taylor, either for or against, right? And so anybody who hates Marjorie Greene Taylor won't listen to any of the stuff that she says, right? Which you should, because some of the stuff she's saying is factual about the whole COVID narrative, right? I mean, and then you had the other congressman speaking about him, about how, you know, where'd they get the mask mandate? Where'd they get the 6 feet distance? Because at first, remember, it was like 12 feet. And like, where'd they get the lockdowns from? And you know, he lied again and said, oh, I didn't say any of this. I didn't close anything down. And then they have like a montage of like 10 minutes of him speaking about how he's going to close shit down and they have to stop the lab leak theory and this and that and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, but every Democrat that was on the committee, all they did was give him praise and then let him get a little fake teary-eyed about how his family was threatened and he needs all the security, which turns out is a big scam, right? You see all these politicians and like business managers and like people like Elon Musk and Bill Gates and Bezos, right? Part of their contract is millions. Like, you know, some are $5 to $20 million, some are $40 million just for security alone, right? So that's another scam, because they oh, we need that money, and so they got to get funding for that because, you know, they were telling the truth and they were attacked for it and blah, 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 blah. We made some mistakes. We never said the things that you remember us saying or that you've seen us say on video. We never said those things. You know, they're changing the narrative now, right? But everybody's too focused on Trump. And then the ones who did watch it, if they watched it at all, are too partisan to listen to the side that you've been told to hate, right? And like, I don't give a fuck. Right wing or left wing, right? It's the same fucking bird. Do you understand that? And they need both sides. They need both wings in order to fucking function, in order to live. And we're allowing them to live. We're allowing them to thrive on all of our backs. You know, it doesn't matter if you believed the whole COVID narrative or if you didn't, right? You should be willing to listen to the facts. You know, a bunch of shit's coming out about adverse side effects and, you know, all kinds of crazy stuff. And, you know, it's hard to sit there and admit that you've been duped, that you've been tricked so hardcore, you know, because then you still believe it. Like, you know, I talk to people about the whole Russian collusion thing with Trump, and they're like, well, but that was true. Why would our intelligence agency say so if it wasn't? Well, they always lie. You know, if you haven't been paying attention, you'd probably think that they always tell the truth, but we know the truth. They lie constantly. Lied us into every single fucking war that we've ever been in, you know. And somehow it always comes out to benefit Israel somehow. I'm not saying there's a correlation there, but something weird is going on, you know. Doesn't matter who gets into office, they're still gonna fund Israel killing all these people in Gaza, whether they deserve it or not. It doesn't fucking matter. You know, more death begets more deaths, right? So hold your nose and listen to the opposition grilling Fauci. And then look at all the Democrats and see what they're doing. They all have the same amount of time to ask questions, pertinent questions, right? About mask mandates, about vaccine efficacy, about what they knew, what they didn't know, what they tested on, what they didn't test on, what they said they did, but they didn't really. And we should all realize that trust the science just means trust the corporation that's paying for the science. You know, focus on Trump being a convicted felon, focus on Biden being whatever he is, and focus on everybody else. You know, it's all the same bullshit. You know, they have, what's his name? John Byrne, right? One of the heads of the CIA, or top dogs of the CIA. That's who's doing negotiations, peace talks and negotiations. A CIA agent, an intelligence officer. Like, they're a secret army, and they do coups all around the globe, and none of which benefits us, the people. You know, it benefits their hegemony, you know, their stranglehold on the world. If you don't agree to what we tell you to do, we just fucking bomb the fuck out of you, you know. We got a few more decades of that going, you know, and I mean, hopefully something will go down sooner than later that, you know, we the people can get behind. It doesn't matter left, right, center, working class, working poor. I mean, that's what we need to unify on. And, you know, again, I like the culture war shit. I like the memes. I like to laugh. I think it's funny. But it's not helping. It's not helping because nobody will listen to the other side. You know, I have very few people that I'm like, look, this is the information. And I'll tell them where to get it, or I'll show it to them. And very few people are like, oh yeah, show it to me. Most people are like, I already know. And it's like, no, you don't, because you're spouting the CIA, you know, Operation Mockingbird talking points. You know, and I get it. A lot of people don't have the time to look it up and, you know, pay attention and research, but they don't want you to. Why do you think anytime like an opposition force, or, you know, who we think is opposition, like Putin or Trump or anybody else, right? Anybody that you disagree with, how come you, or the mainstream media disagrees with, how come when they go to speak, they don't let you listen to them firsthand? They tell you what they're going to say. They tell you what they're saying, you know, and, oh, if there's anything new, we'll break into it. Like, let the people speak. We should be able to make the decision on whether or not we want to support them just by listening to them. You understand what I'm saying? Watching their actions and seeing what they say. Critical think, people. You know, I still see people wearing masks. Study after study after study. And Fauci's own words says, oh, yeah, there was no proof about any of that. You know, no proof that lockdowns work. There's no proof that shutting corporations down work. You know, he even said that they're going to make it difficult for people not to be vaccinated. What does that mean to you? You know, they shut down the whole world. And we're like, yeah, well, let's move on. Trump's a convicted felon. Okay, but what about the other shit? They closed my business for 3 fucking months, right? I'm barely now just catching back up. Barely. Critical think, folks. You know, think for yourself. Don't fucking listen to the mainstream media telling you this and that. They're going to have you hating your neighbors and thinking that, who knows? You know what I mean? Whatever they want you to think, you're going to think it. You know, we go from one bullshit to, oh no, the fucking what was the submarine that imploded, then monkeypox, then this, then that, then back to Ukraine, now Israel, this, blah 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 blah. Trump conviction. Oh, Fauci talked about, you know, you don't have to listen to that. He's a good guy. Okay, everybody. Have a great day, man. Day 159 and No Excuses 2024. What's your excuse, motherfucker?